Good evening, everybody. How's everyone doing? Happy bank holiday. Well, maybe you're not having a bank holiday wherever you are in the world, but let me know in the chat thing that we've got going on if you've got a bank holiday today. Let me turn myself down. Right, so welcome everybody to Bitesize. If you've got no idea what this is our weekly live stream on a Monday that we do where we talk about, well, what you want to talk about, really, whether it's running gear, running shoes, or whatever, really. Hang on a sec, I'm going to cough. It's a good start, isn't it? But yeah, so it's our weekly show, which is driven by you guys. I love it. If you're listening to this as a podcast, it's, let's call it viewer interaction, I would say. And it's driven again by you guys. So there's a chat thing going on. And hopefully you guys are going to be firing in some questions. Whatever you want to talk about, I will talk about as we go through the next however long we've got. So that's that. It's separate from our usual podcast live stream that we do, the award-winning one, on a Friday. That's at 7 o'clock. This one's at 8 o'clock. So how's everybody doing? Have they enjoyed a big, long weekend here in the UK? Poor old MB, he's not had a bank holiday in California. But I tell you what, that's pretty awesome that he's listening live from California. That's pretty cool, isn't it? So, guys, right, where do we start? Firstly, I've had way too much to eat today. I've had some cake before we came, and I had 3 pieces of cake and some profiteroles, which was too much. So I will be burping that all the way through. So apologies. As a heads up, as you know, I'm an elite runner, and that's what we eat. Shoes-wise this week, I'm going to carry on getting some miles in Salomon Aero Glide, the Solar Boost 5 from Adidas, and the Kipron KS 900. I need to get more miles in all those shoes before we can think about doing any form of videos on those. We've got this week on the channel, we've got a top 3 daily trainer video coming out. I thought it'd be good because I know we're not halfway through the year, but we're approaching halfway through the year. So I thought it'd be good to give you sort of my kind of top 3 daily trainers so far of what I've tested, what I've got. So that's coming out. I'm not sure exactly when. We've got a few other bits. What else have we got on the channel this week? I did write something. The Go Ride 11. So some of you will be asking me about the Skechers Go Ride 11 because they're available in the UK now. So some of you asked me when that video is coming out, and that's going to come out this week, just as a heads up. So I'm not sure what day that's coming out, but that is going to come out this week. What else do you need to know in terms of admin at the front end? Oh, we've got Andy Forrest of Dean. I don't know whether you know Andy Forrest of Dean. If you've not seen his channel, make sure you subscribe to his channel. He's coming on the podcast in a couple of weeks. So that's going to be good. Looking forward to that one. So we talk about all things how to run really fast. So that'll be cool. That's to say, that's in a couple of weeks. And yeah, I'll tell you what, if you are watching this, because I was with the running channel guys yesterday. I don't know if you've seen the video that we put out today, where we went to that Red Bull run the world run, which is really cool, and I would recommend it actually. And that, you know, that's not just because I've done it, you know, for Red Bull, but I just think it was a good event. So I would definitely recommend having a look at it. We paid £18, so I would 100% recommend you having a look at that. And yeah, check out the video because it was just basically us mucking about and me drinking far too much Red Bull, which was quite funny. But anyway, my point is that what other YouTube channels, running YouTube channels, do you watch? You know, obviously you guys know I watch Kafuzi and Believe in the Run, and obviously Andy Forrest of Dean. So which ones do you follow on? But I was with the running channel guys. Andy, he was a nice guy. I spent a bit of time with him yesterday, which was kind of nice. So yeah, check. Just put them in the comments, and we'll have a chat about that as we go through. I think that's the admin out of the way, the boring stuff out of the way. In terms of my training, I'm trying to get no structure into my running, and I'm just running as and when I feel like it. I'm 90% sure I'm going to pull out of Ride 100, but I'll figure that out nearer the time. And yeah, I think that's it. I think you're up to speed really on all things 40 runs. There's loads going on, guys. There is loads, and there's loads coming out. We've got the vlog at the weekend. We'll sort of allude to some of it. But we've got a lot coming up. We've got a lot of things, moving parts on 40 runs, which is all good. And it's just amazing. And thanks to everybody again, just at the front end, to everybody who's subscribed to the channel, who's a channel member, who's in the Facebook community, who's part of the club, and supports 40 runs all over the world. So thank you very much. And there's exciting things coming your way. Right, let's get into early doors, some of the questions and comments. So if you've got a question, whether it's shoes, whether it's, whatever, coaching, or, just want to ask about the ice cream from the weekend, let me know. Okay, so evening Dawn, evening Martin, evening Steving, evening all from Elbow Cough Run. I'll run the world. Evening Penny, evening MB, evening David, and all the everyday runners. I like that. Oh, big shout out to Gary. Thank you, Gary, for checking our sound and vision. I appreciate that a lot, as you know. Evening Mark Langhorn, I've just seen you pop up as well. So let's try and dive into some of these questions and get cracking, shall we? Because I know it's bank holiday and you probably, like me, want to watch TV and eat crisps. So Seamus, evening, Chris, and happy bank holiday. Yes, it's been pretty awesome. I think we've got another one coming up, haven't we, at the end of the month? I enjoyed the Red Bull vlog today, but not as much as you enjoyed your ice cream. We did get some very funny looks as we were running around a running track eating ice cream. We were the only people doing that, funnily enough. And even the guy, because they were filming it live for the Red Bull event thing. If you followed Red Bull UK, you would have seen me on their Instagram as well. But yeah, they had this like live bike thing going around, and as we were like eating our ice cream, the geezer on the bike came up and was filming us, which we thought was quite amusing because it's a bit of a Mickey take, isn't it? Meant to be taken very seriously, but we were sitting there eating ice cream, so we was running around. Right, okay. His question: I need a good daily for easy miles. Suggestions, please. Are we on a budget? I probably think we are. I think. Well, watch. Actually, you know what? Great plug. Watch the video on whenever it comes out. I'm going to give you 3 daily trainers there. That are, I think, some of the best of the year. So, just to throw some names around, you've got the Reebok Evo ride, the Reebok Energy Float Ride 5. You've got the Puma Forever Run. You got the Puma Velocity 2. You've got the Nimbus 25, the Cumulus 25. You've got the Skechers Go Ride 11, the Skechers Max Road 6. You've still got obviously Nova Bars from A6. There's so many good shoes out there, but I think it comes really down to personal preference. They've got the Ride 16, which, the 15 is just as good, but that's a good back to basics daily trainer. It really is. It's easy. It's simple. Does everything very well. You've got the Cloud Surfer. There's just so many good shoes out there this year. There's so many shoes that do the basics right. Whatever you do, don't buy the Pegasus. It's faulty. It's a complete waste of money. But there is some really good shoes. But I'm really liking some of the stuff that I'll talk about on Wednesday. I know it's a bit of a put off till then, James, but I've checked that out. But some of those names I just mentioned as well, I think are worth having a look at, especially if you can get them cheap. Yeah, go over to Start Fitness, use the code 40 runs. You're going to get 10% off. Then there's a load on there that you can check out. Any 40 runs groups in Ireland? No, I think they're working on one. I don't get involved with them. So on the club, I'm on the committee of the club, but as a coach. But I don't get involved in the satellites. Hayden's in charge of that. He does an amazing job. And obviously all the satellite people, they're incredible for doing it. But I don't get involved in the satellites that much. We do have a very cool thing coming on June the 1st. What I would say, I think you're going to dig that, and I think it's what's it called? It applies to everybody. I think it's going to be incredible. Hopefully, it's inclusive, like we do with everything at 40 Runs. Don't want to say too much because Hayden will probably tell me off, but we're working on something that I think is going to be pretty cool. And if there's not a local satellite group, or you're in a country where maybe we don't have a big presence at the moment, then I think that's going to be cool for you guys. But I would say anybody who's listening to this, whether you're listening to this on a podcast and you're just trotting along, and have you ever thought about starting a social, group up? Maybe that's something to think about. Doesn't matter where you are. Yeah, if you're in England, you can become part of the affiliated club, but we have social members all over the place. So yeah, just maybe join up. Right, what's this? Stephen is recovering after a half marathon yesterday. Good weekend. Which one did you do, Stephen? Let us know. How did you get on? I know there's a few races out and about this weekend, which seem to be pretty cool. There's one in Birmingham, which comes to mind straight away. Managed to pick up the Velocity 2 for £45. Now, that is a steal at £45. And at Start Fitness, you're going to get 10% on top of that. Off of that, I mean, with the code 40 runs. I don't get paid for that, by the way. But yeah, that's a great bargain. The Puma Velocity is a very, very, very good daily trainer. And at £45, is a no-brainer. It really is. It's an absolute no-brainer. A great video on the Red Bull challenge. Maybe those elites are missing a trick. Ice cream. Yeah, maybe that's what it is. Red Bull and ice cream is definitely the way to a faster race. Got some funny looks. It's brilliant. When I stopped, right, I got these dad Haribo and stuff. I stopped, opened up 2 bags of Haribo and chucked them down when like a bag of crisps. People look at me like I was nuts. It was hilarious. When we was queuing in the ice cream thing and these people are still running around. It's such a good day. Eating 40, what shoe or what race shoe marathon would you recommend for overpronators being using the Zoom structure? Oh, Jesus. Poor you. The Zoom structure from Nike is not a marathon shoe. Well, I would try the Saucony Endorphin Pro 3. I would try the Saucony Endorphin Pro 2 if you can still get it. Mind you, Pro 3 is such a better shoe. I would also say try the Adidas. It's going to sound funny, but the Pro 3, because as I said a million times, I pronate a bit and I get away with the Adidas Pro 3. I just find that they work for me. You don't have a overly soft foam like you do in a Zoom X or a Fuel Cell. So that could be worth a go. I mean, the other one, but it is like bricks. I mean, it's proper solid, but it does have a plate in it. Is I know you're going to kill me for saying it, but it's the Brooks Hyperion Elite, the 3. I've not checked that shoe out, the Hyperion Elite 3, but it is a plated shoe, and that's going to be a firm ride with that Hyperion midsole. So that could work. But personally, I think I would go with the Saucony Endorphin Pro 2 or Pro 3, or even try the Adidas. That's, I think, where the money's at for me. Yeah, give that a go. Right, let's move on. So, okay, here we go. So this is a cool question. I love this. So this gets a lot of people talking. So yeah, I was asking you guys about which other YouTubers. It doesn't have to be running YouTubers, guys. Is there any other YouTubers that I should watch in terms of creativity? Because I like to watch. I don't know about you, but I like to watch stuff. Sounds weird, right? But I like to watch like the fishing guys. I think they do some cool stuff. I like to watch. What was it the other day? There was like this challenge thing. It was really good. But yeah, I just anything like that where there's a story being told. I really like it. Yeah, there was some really cool stuff. I can't remember. Oh, the flying ones are quite good, in terms of vlogging, where they get on a plane and they rate a plane. They're quite good. Have you ever seen the Points Guys? Or Points Guys thing is where they rate planes? That's kind of cool. This is sort of rubbish that I'm watching when I'm on the train on the way home, if I'm not watching Believe in the Run or Mike Cafuzzi. But I like to watch stuff like that because you get different ideas and things like that. Right, so anyway, going back to the original question. In addition to those YouTubers you mentioned, which are great, I also watched Ben Parks. Yeah, he did a cycling thing the other day. Ben was at the London Marathon. I said hello. I think I scared him, which I do to quite a few people now. And Seth Demore. I get loads of running inspiration from you, including you, Fordy. That's very kind of you, Mike. Thank you very, very much. I appreciate that. I'll tell you who's the other one. He's obviously the Serious Run. Have you seen him? He's done a new video. I've not watched it. It's we did a video. Remember when I sold the YouTube channel? You've got to check that out. It's brilliant. Mike, who's got what YouTube channels? YouTube channel I watch. Ben Parks, yeah. Messy Happy, yeah, love Messy Happy. Actually, got to give them a big shout out. I'm hoping to meet up with Ben and Mary in July. So stand by for that. We could be trying to do some cool things. Ben is running. Yeah, love Ben. Obviously, we've had Ben on the channel. And he's been on the podcast twice. He's just a legend. Absolutely love that guy. But yeah, this Messy Happy, fantastic. Love those guys. Absolutely love them. And then obviously the running channel. And I don't think Anna's left. I think what happened, and I'm probably talking out of turn here, is that she stepped back from them. She was employed. I'm totally talking out of turn, but I think she was employed by them or something along those lines. And then she sort of went off and then works like contracted with them. That's how I understand it. I don't know the complete ins and outs, obviously, but that's how I understand. That's why she doesn't appear as much on there. But I saw her at the National Running Show, and she was lovely. And she's supported us while we was on the stage. So I think you're right. I think she does a good job on that channel. She's very professional. Yeah, that's how I don't think she left. She was in all the promo stuff. But I didn't see her yesterday. She wasn't there yesterday. Here we go. Evening, Chris from Birmingham. This is from Simon on other YouTube channels apart from yours. Ben Parks again. Miss Messy Happy running with Andy. Running channel. Oh, Philly Bowden. Yeah, Philly Bowden. She's a good little channel to watch as well. Little, I think it's quite big actually. Oh, Stephen's back. Managed a PB of 1 hour 25 minutes. You hero, that is moving. Absolutely moving. Right, here we go. Evening 40, sign up to my first marathon, York. Yeah, I tell you what, last week, I've been doing loads of training plans for York Marathon and like Chester and Great North Run. I've been doing loads of training plans for the York Marathon. Currently in Brooks Glycerine 19s. Would you recommend getting another shoe? Yeah, 100%. If you can afford it. Now, not everybody can afford having a couple of shoes in your rotation. Yeah. But if you can afford it, yes, I would recommend having 1 or 2 pairs of shoes. In your rotation, definitely. Maybe get something, switch it up for something that you can do a bit of speed working, something a bit lighter, a bit snappier, or maybe get like, and this is a good tip, get a race day shoe. Something maybe with a carbon plate. It doesn't have to be a carbon plate, but something that's a little bit lively, and then you can use that for like some of your tempo, your speed work, and then obviously you can use it on race day, and that's where like the Sock Endorphin lineup really comes into its own, because you can train in them because they've got the durability, and then you can chuck them into race day because they will perform. So that's why it's worth considering them if you can get them on a discount. So yeah, that's what I would look at. Glycerine 19s is a selective choice. I think the 20 was a much better shoe than 19. So I think you would probably really enjoy something like the Saucony Endorphin Speed 3 or the Saucony Endorphin Pro 3. And then, as I say, you can switch around and do your easy, longer stuff, when you're running, as I said, easy in your glycerines. And then when you want to turbocharge it a bit, stick your race day shoes on. How does that sound? Who's this? Dan. I overpronate and use the Saucony Endorphin Pro 2. Yeah, exactly what I was saying, Dan. I recommend that. I think it was a year or a bit ago. And it's a great one. It really is. Got a PB, Kurt. He got a PB at Market Bosworth Half for our local running club, Stilton Striders. Bargain in my Pro Adidas Pro 3s. There we go, hero. Well done. What a legend. Here we go. Mark, YouTubers. I support some of the local ones up in Birmingham, running with Andy. Good. Donato. I don't know who that is. Middle-aged man running. Obi-Wan and Rachel D. This is good. See, I'm learning new channels. I saw running with Andy. He did was it a Manchester vlog? Something like that. And I think I commented on that video because I thought it was quite good. Run testers find Nick Bester brilliant. Yeah. Nick was, funny enough, I tell you, Steve, we was running down the Lee Valley. Me and I think it was Simon, and we was doing, I don't know, 16 miles run, something like that. And we was coming back, and someone blasted past us at about 3,000 miles an hour, and it was Nick. And he was testing a New Balance SE trainer at the time, and it absolutely was annihilating it. And he was on like a training run. It was great. I really like, out of those guys, what's this guy? Miles for More, Kieran. I've had the pleasure of meeting Kieran a couple of times at certain events. He's got a great sense of humor, especially when I was hammering him about running landmarks with a rucksack, and he took that quite well. So you've got to have a sense of humor in life. Some people out there, they don't. I won't name names. Serious Runners last video. I've not seen it. I'm going to watch it. If you've not seen the Serious Runners video that we did, check it out. It's called I'm Out, or I've sold my YouTube channel. It's brilliant. Nick, any news on the Adidas Boston 12? Yeah, I see. I've got conflicting stuff on this. I've heard June and I've heard September. I don't know which one of those is correct. So I think it will just appear when it appears. Best people, hopefully you are already, but follow the guys from Believe in the Run, because and Mike Kafusi, because they'll probably get that first, and then we'll get a little bit more info on it. because they've got relationships out in the US with Adidas. So they'll get that pretty lively, I'm guessing. So just watch out for that. Interestingly, I don't know whether you saw their videos. We've not been sent any over here in the UK. But the Magic Speed 3 is out in June. I don't know whether that's just the US, but I really wish I shouldn't have that cake. But the US YouTubers have been previewing that. They say it's a little bit different, a little bit better. The Magic Speed 2, which I really didn't care for. Hopefully you've seen some of the videos on that. But I might actually see if Si gets that for us and test that, because he's the one who loves the Magic Speed 2. So I might see if Si's up for a new pair and see if we can get him some Magic Speed 3s. Let's see. He might be up for that. Use them over the summer period. Okay, Gaz. What's Gaz telling me? Gaz picked up the Puma Velocity Nitro 2 for 45 quid. There we go. Very happy with them. See, there we go. Right. This is a bargain. Have you run in Newtons? I did many years ago, but yeah, don't get anything from Newtons. Got a place in the Great North Run too. I'm going to be at the Great North Run, and don't forget we're aiming to do a shakeout run at the Great North Run, so make sure you keep an eye on our socials for all the information about that. So that should be good. Right, what have we got here? Thanks very much, guys, for all these comments and questions. Keep them coming. Let's get on it. Okay, Lee Radcliffe. Evening, Mr. Ford. Does anybody not like to use New Balance Elite? I'm on my second pair and love them. Your good friend from Basingstoke. New Balance Elite. I just found the fuel cell that pinch too soft for me. I'm very excited to try the SC Trainer version 2 because it looks like a slimmed down version of the first version. Because I've been getting on very well with the Propel version 4. I've really, really enjoyed that shoe with the TPU plate in it, 2 layers of fuel cell. I've been really enjoying that. That's like a pumped up fuel cell Rebel. So I'm hoping that the New Balance fuel cell SC Trainer version 2, which should be arriving pretty soon, is works for me. The Elite just had a little bit too much give in the midsole. It's a little bit too soft for me. I do struggle with fuel cell midsole. It's funny, I get on all right with Fresh Foam X, but fuel cell midsole is a little bit too soft for my pronation. But I would love to get my hands on the SC Trainer too. So let's see what happens there. But yeah, so let's see. But yeah, I know a lot of people who really love that shoe. They really dig the New Balance Elite. Yeah, so there you go. So here we go. What's this? Thanks for the question. I up 40. I heard you say Max Road 5 fit true size. Does that mean buy your normal size? So yeah, true to size is I would buy your normal size in running shoe. So for a normal size for me, my normal size shoe is a 9. If I was to buy a pair of boring work shoes, you know, like I don't know, whatever boring work shoes I look like. But if I was to buy a boring pair of work shoes, if I wanted to look like a waiter, then I would buy a UK 9. My running shoes, in general, are a UK 9.5. That said, New Balance, I'm a 10. Certain other brands, I'm a 9. So it all depends what I'm getting. Some, you know, so I differ in certain brands. Okay, so I'm never a 9.5. It's really bad English. I'm not a 9.5 in everything. You'll find that I am different sizes in stuff. Hoka, for example, I'm a UK 10. So yeah, I'm a little bit out there in terms of signing. So that's what that means, is that yes, it fits true to size in terms of what your normal running shoe size of shoe is. Yeah, you with me? So Max Road 5 for me, I'm a UK 9.5, and it fits beautifully, like absolutely beautifully. In fact, the Max Road 6, beautifully. Go Run Ride 11, beautifully. They're just, I just find Skechers shoes. You all go, oh, it's because he's sponsored by, which it's only the podcast that's sponsored by Skechers, but I just find Skechers shoes really comfortable. That's just me. It's like, but then I'll say that about the Nimbus, so it's not just Skechers. Right, let's move on. I hope that helps, by the way. Kurt, this looks good, interesting about the YouTubers. 40 runs, Natch. Ben is running, Ben Parks. Yeah, so look, I think we're on the same wavelength, guys, here. Ben is running, Ben Parks, Serious Runner, and Kafuzi, Philly Foden. Fish with Carl. What's that? I'll check with that. I was watching. This is so good. It's so random, the stuff we talk about here on a Monday night. I was watching this fishing program the other day about these guys, these 3 guys who go fishing for carp, and they were catching these fish, right? They were like 60, like over 60 pounds. They're like enormous. Anyway, enough to talk about fishing. It's only because I'm going on Saturday. I'm really excited about it. I haven't been for like a million years. I'm really excited about going. So I've been watching all fishing programs on YouTube. Okay. Jog On with Harry. Yes, Jog On with Harry is brilliant. The guy is fantastic. He really, really is. I just like his style. He has a lot of GB squad on the channel. Yeah, he's connected up. I think he does a lot of work with like Pro Direct Running, and Pro Direct Running, they really only tend to look after elite runners. They're only interested in fast people. So he does a lot of, I think he does a lot of stuff for them. That's why he gets plugged in with these guys, which is great because he makes great content and he's just a really nice guy. So good luck to him. Actually, we should try and get him on the podcast at some point, thinking about it. I like him a lot. He's a big old lump. When I met him at Winter Run, he's massive. He's a big old lump. And not like I'm talking like, but he's tall. I didn't expect him to be so tall. So you can see why he runs the times he does, because he's got big old long legs. YouTube channels from Penny. She watches Ben Parks. Ben is running with Andy. There we go. Running with Andy. So 40. I don't know how I've done that. Beat it for 6 days. I had my first. Oh yeah. So I don't know. Yeah, those beetroots. I've got some up there still sitting there looking at me. I would, as I said, I try them. I mean, unless you're allergic to beetroot, I would try them. It worked for me. Well, I don't know whether it worked for me, but beetroot seemed to not have a negative impact on my running. So I think it's definitely worked. Having a go. Right. Here we go. What's this? Is another comeback on the. Okay, I said the exact opposite. I am an Oprah, and the Socking Dolphin was a disaster, but felt ruling. Okay, so is that the Socking Dolphin Pro 3, Dan? You're talking about rolling out of it? Let us know. Come back on that one. I'd be interested to get your input on that. I love the Fuel Cell Elite 2. I ran my 5K PB in there. Yeah. I tell you which is a shoe that doesn't seem to get much love from me. And in a way, I wish I had spent the time to source a pair and get a pair, was the Asics Metaspeed Sky Plus. You guys really, really love it, or seem to love it, because I get that from the comments. But I wish I'd now, in retrospect, very easy to look back, but I wish we'd tried to got some of them. Sky had a pair, so we did do a video on them, but I kind of get FOMO with the shoe, and I wish I'd actually got myself a pair now, but whatever, is what it is. I can't try and get the next pair because I think they must be coming out soon. Did you see, by the way, all the Alpha Fly? All the pictures are out now. So Alpha Fly 4. We'll have to wait and see when that drops. Here we go. What's this question? Maria, would you recommend Chester Marathon or York Marathon? Has had a mishap at Milton Keynes, so looking for another one to do a decent time. I personally, Maria, I don't know where you're based, but I would go to Amsterdam. Yes, if you want to do a time, it's flat and it's fast, and it's relatively inexpensive to get to if you plan it. So I would maybe look at doing that. I know you can even get the train, I think, to Amsterdam, but it was rocking. I would definitely try it. Out of those two, not the Chester or York Marathons, I've got anything against them, but if you're looking for a flat, fast one, because so for example, York has got a hill in it, like a dirty great big hill apparently at the end. Amsterdam didn't. So there we go. I don't even remember a hill in Amsterdam. I think you had an underpass, so that was about it. So I think that's definitely worth chatting. What's this one? Need to chat to you about a satellite group. Yes, Lee. Email in, or no, go to the website if you want to start a running group through 40 Runs, which we want everyone to do, because we want to bring runners together. Go to the website. I think it's under the satellite groups or something like that, and there's a link that you can follow, and it basically it's like a form you can fill out, and then in a nutshell, Hayden will get in touch with you. So there we go. Gary's recommending the Chester Marathon, so maybe give that a go then. Here we go. What's this? Rarely a week goes by that Thomas from Believe You in the Run doesn't mention you. You two are the most entertaining. Yeah, I didn't realise he does that. He's my hero, as you know. I just think he's just he's not for everybody, and I'm not for everybody. Okay, so I get that. Yeah, you'd have seen the people who were looking at me strangely yesterday on too much Red Bull and ice cream. They're thinking, "Who's this loudmouth idiot running around?" So I get that I'm not for everybody. I have a lot of energy because, like, even the guy Andy from the running channel was like, "Oh yeah, you really like what you are on the videos." That's me. Um, and Thomas is the same. He's just as you'd expect him to be, and he's just a great laugh and fun, and doesn't take life too seriously. And when the running club's called the Faster Bastards, I think that tells you everything you need to know. I think it's just brilliant, and as you say, it's entertaining. So I love it. I love the fact that I can call on him, and he'll help me out. So I'm very lucky in that respect. But I genuinely just love their stuff. I just think they're brilliant. And if there's a video, the Magic Speed 3 thing with Robbie on it, it's like he's just been out on a night out. It's so good. Check it out. But yeah, thank you very much. I appreciate that. And I appreciate if Thomas is giving me a shout out every so often, and I really appreciate that as well. How do you find the Nimbus 25s? I love the Nimbus 25. Absolutely love it. Looked at getting them for the upcoming training block, potentially. Also looking at the race day shoe. What would you recommend? Well, here's the thing. You got your Nimbus 25. That's 175 quid or 170 quid. Okay. If you're looking as a first timer to get a shoe, I would probably spend a little bit more and get the Super Blast if you've got a marathon training block coming up. That is I've said it a million times now. You guys, most of you know, I think that's one of the best marathon training shoes you can get. And if money's no object, then that's the way to go. I think the Nimbus 25 is a very good shoe, but it is kind of limited because of the weight of it, and the upper is warm. The Super Blast, which has still got a warmish upper, is just amazing at cruising along at goal pace. It's amazing at cruising along on those proper long runs that you've got to do. So I would really recommend, if you can afford it, and only do this if you can afford it, and also have a look around, because I've seen the Super Blast drop down on a few places, but I would have a look at grabbing a pair of Super Blast for your upcoming marathon training block. Personally, it's such a good shoe. It really, really is. As I said to you, or said on videos, I'm going to get another pair for when my marathon training starts, which it will do 4 or 5 weeks. I'm going to get a pair. Well, saying that, I might not be allowed to. We'll have to wait and see. Okay, right, here we go. Brilliant. So, Maria, get over to Amsterdam. I'd love to go back and run Amsterdam again, honestly. And I'd love to go there because it's just such a good course. It really is. And it's just buzzing. Hey, we got Howdy from Prescott. Love Prescott. I wish Prescott did a marathon, or like Tucson did a marathon, and we could do it in the winter. I'd love to come over. I need like a sponsor invite. Who could sponsor that? We could get Billy Bob Honky Tonk, or I don't know, what was the name of that honky tonk in Tucson? There's a really good honky tonk in Tucson, but I can't remember the name of the place. Anyway, we could get them to sponsor me to come over. It'd be awesome. If you know anybody who lives in Tucson, find out the name of that honky tonk that's in Tucson. Here we go. Dan's back answering my question, which was he tried both the Endorphin Pro 2 and the Speed 2, and it didn't provide the stability that he needed. He's not tried the Pro 3 or the Speed 3. Okay, I would say then those shoes probably don't work for you. The Pro 3 you might get away with. It's a little bit wider. You've got the wing plate in it now, so it might be worth having a go. Yeah. Okay, here we go. What's this? DPD didn't deliver my Nike Wild Horse 8 today, running on my Cloud Stratus up to 100 today. Boring watching the shoes to arrive at the door. Wild Horse 8. Okay, be interested to know how you get on with get on with them. So I've just seen a comment for about Prescott. Funnily enough, I'm in the process of putting together a trail running video, sort of, because I've been spending a little bit of time in the trails. I've been putting some miles into the what's it called? Trabuco Max 2. I've been putting some miles into a shoe from Merrell. Remember we spoke about that? And a few others. I've got some Saucony ones as well that we've been trying to do. So the miles that I've been doing pretty much have been in the trails, to be honest, or down the river. So I've been spending more time in trail shoes actually. So that's why some of the other videos are a little bit later, are taking longer to do, because I'm spent doing the miles that I've been doing on the trails. So that's what I've been trying to do. So I've not tried the Wild Horse 8 because I've got so many trail shoes, and I'm not. And I'm funny because when I find a trail shoe that works for me, I kind of stick with it. But anyway, so yeah, I don't know if that helped or not. Probably not. Just rambling on about nonsense. That's the Red Bull. Here we go. Okay. She's Maria's back. She's bought the Adidas Pro 3 in pink and love them. Yeah, such a good shoe. I ran them in London. Absolutely love it. Hopefully Pro 4 is it's good. I think it's going to be a mild update upper, but let's see. We've got Prime X2 coming, talking about Thomas, who's hyped us all up about that. And even Mike Kafuzi was saying that that's going to be radical. So let's see what they're going to do there. What's this one? Have you ever run, this is from Mike, have you ever run the Lee Valley Velo Park outside track? I've done the Lee Valley runs through Run Through. They've got, that's where you do the loops and stuff like that, isn't it? I have done them. I find them incredibly tedious and incredibly boring. That's not against anything against the because they're Run Through put on fantastic races in the UK, all over the UK. They're a fantastic company. And they support a lot of runners, which is good. But I just find that velodrome thing just incredibly tedious. So sorry about that. Come on, Fordy. We have an ultra for you in Prescott. I'd just love to come back to Prescott. I really would. I just such fond memories. But find out what that honky tonk is in Tucson and let me know. What's this from Chris? Chris Cummings. Any good recommendations for a road to trail option for the spring summer? I still really like the Reebok. Oh, I'm going to get the name wrong. Adventure 4, Adventure 5. I think it's a great shoe. It's cheap. It does the job. It's, I think Pegasus Trail 4, that one, but it's just a little bit less Pegasus. I just like it, and it's cheap as well. Right? It's pretty cheap. I can't remember what mine were, but they were cheap. The Adventure Float Ride Energy Adventure. That's what they're called. So check them out. Really good option. The grip's not particularly brilliant, but it's better than running along in your Cumulus 25s. So give that a go. How many marathons have I done? I think I'm up to about 12, but I may be wrong. That's about right. I think somewhere around there. And you know what? Go back to that. I still don't think I've understood and grasped the distance right yet. I still have a lot to learn about running marathons. Honestly, I still have a lot to understand about the distance. I'm learning every time I do it. And obviously I'm learning every time I train, but I'm learning every time I do it. I love the training. I hate the running of the race, but I'm learning every time I do it how to get better at it. You've got to respect the distance with the marathon, and you've got to understand it. And I think I need to do even like many, many, many more of them to truly grasp the distance. That's the truth. Here we go. Metaspeed Sky 2, still on sports shoes. Gary, you're not meant to be tempting me with these things. So, look, all right, here's a question for you. Should I go and get a cheap pair of Metaspeed Sky Pluses and see what they're like? Question for you guys. You let me know. Hi, Chris. Really enjoy the vids on shoes. Thank you. Have you bought most my shoes? Have bought most of my shoes based on your. Oh, thank you. Sorry. Again, it's been a long day. Well, thanks very much. Yeah, Mike and I and Thomas seem to have similar sort of views on the shoes. Talking to Thomas earlier as well, we similar-ish views on some of the shoes. So, for example, I went to them and asked them what the hell I was meant to do with the Super Blast, and they were on the money, with a marathon shoe for it, and it's become, my favorite marathon shoe. So we do tend to have the same sort of opinion on shoes, which is probably one of the reasons why, Thomas and I get on as well. So I think, we're in a similar wavelength on that. But yeah, Mike's obviously a lot faster runner than me. He's an under 3 hour marathoner, but he was where I was and on my journey. So that's why I aspire to be, not only from a creative point of view, like Mike, but also from a running point of view as well. And he's also a really, really nice guy, which helps as well. Any more MTB riding. I'm an idiot. So what's MTB? Yeah. Let me know. I'm just an idiot. I'm not doing any more biking. If that's what you ask, it'd be nice to see you in Bristol one day. Well, you never know, David. Let's get it on. Let's happen. These things could happen. I'd like to travel about. I'm aiming to travel about. Got a cool thing coming up in June, which I can't talk about at the moment, but I'm going to be out and about. So let's see what happens. And what's this from Chris? Oh, and thanks for answering my Maranoia questions on Friday's Long Run Show. You're welcome, Chris. Thanks for emailing or whatever you did. We appreciate it. It's a good show on Friday. If you've not seen it or listened to it, check that one out. Okay, right. We're getting to the end. Right, so 4-minute warning, people, before we call it a day. Let you get on. I've got some Doritos with my name on it and some pineapple Fanta to drink. I'm a highly tuned athlete. Which shoes would you pick for a through hike? Like, oh my God, trail runners seem to fit the bill. I've got absolutely no idea. I pick something comfortable. If it's a traily shoe and you want something comfortable, the Trabuco Max 2 is super comfortable, but it is heavy. But it's a really, really comfortable trail shoe. And that's the reason why I love it. I ran up Snowdon, one of the highest mountains in the UK, in there, and came down. That was in version 1. Version 2, softer and even more comfortable than that version. So I would recommend having a look at that if that's what you're after. But I don't really know 100% what you're after. If I could help, I would. Yes, get the ASICs. Send you the link, Gary. All right, we'll see how much they are. Okay, Gary? How's that? We'll see how much they are, and then we'll figure it out. I've got a race coming up. Would I get them in time for Hackney? What do you think? Could I want? There you go, Gary. Let's have a look. Maybe I could get them in Hackney because they would match my outfit, which is really important. I think it's really important. How much do you match? This is a question for next week. How much do you choose your shoes relative to your outfit for the day? What's this? Just wanted to know what you think about the comparison between Metaspeed Sky and the Adios Pro 3. Again, I don't know because this is the issue we've got with the Metaspeed Sky Plus. I've never tried them. So this is why Gary's trying to talk me into getting them. Maybe that's what we do, guys. I tell you what, I'm going to put a poll up after this. Should I buy the Metaspeed Sky Plus and run them at the Hackney Half? I'm going to leave it to you guys to decide. We'll put a poll up. How about that? I might even put it on Instagram tomorrow. I was on the same wavelength as you, moving side. Yeah, they're not for everyone. I'm telling you, right? They're not for everyone. The endorphin line. They're not, and that's why there's something. That's why I've been a big fan of the Propel version 4. It's a cheaper alternative. It's a little bit more stable. Could be for some, so it's definitely worth checking out. Right, Maria, if you've got any more questions, fire them in now because I'm going to call it quits in about 2 seconds. I know you're not a Brooks fan. Well, say that. I like Brooks as a brand. I just think that their daily trainers are like seriously boring and they need a massive revamp. But I like the Catamount too. I like the Hyperion Max. So, right. I know you're not a Brooks fan, but as a daily trainer, I do love the Ghost. Yeah, the Ghost, it's definitely an improvement over previous versions, this version, but it's still, when you look at like the Cloud Surfer and you look at some of the other shoes out there, you do think it's a bit boring. Come on, guys, let's up it. But sometimes boring is good. Okay, so that is one way of looking at it, isn't it? Right, okay, look, I'll tell you what. Firstly, I'm going to put that poll up. Maybe we'll do that for a bit of a laugh. And I'll go out there in the ASICS Metaspeed Sky Pluses. We'll try that one out. I'll put that up at some point. If you're not following us on Instagram, it's FORDY_runs. If you're not following the Long Run Show, which is all our sort of podcasts, live streams that we do, I think it's literally Long Run Show on Instagram. So make sure you follow that as well. If you're not part of the community, join us on Facebook on 40 Runs Running Community. And if you're not subscribed to this YouTube channel, make sure you do. Tell everybody about the podcast. Tell everybody about the live stream. We've got a very cool thing coming June the 1st, which I think you guys all over the world are going to really dig. So make sure you hang about for that. Loads of videos coming this week. As always, make sure you check those out. And thanks. And a genuine again, I know I keep saying it, but thank you very much to every single person who tunes into this live. We can't do this without you. Thanks to all the regulars who tune in. Thanks to everybody new who's coming on board and watching and listening to this. If you're listening to this as a podcast, we're pretty much done. So you can now slow down and do your cool down. Make sure you stretch. And I shall see you guys next Monday at 8 o'clock. Don't forget, we're live on Friday with the Long Run Show. And this week we're talking about, should you be training in the summer to increase your speed or work on your stamina, which is a very interesting point. If you've got anything to add to that, make sure you go over to the contact form on the website. Right, I'm going to figure out how to play the outro. While I do that, I wish you all a fond farewell, and I shall see you guys later.